And unless you have multiple personality disorder, you're not actually seeing yourself clearly. What did I just say? The reason we haven't really solved shame is because we make it worse. In the self-help industry, in the spiritual field, we make this 10 times worse. Ready for me to show you how? Now, mom is gone at this point, sitting back at home, wondering why daughter is addicted. Hashtag truth. Okay, so you guys are against each other, right? Because you've turned against, you were the loudness, right?
Yes.
Okay. You've turned against your loudness. Now, you feel embarrassed about this. So what happens in your day-to-day reality is that you keep lining up with experiences where you're super loud. I know what that feels like because I'm American. Not kidding, you guys. Every time I land in London, I am like the loudest person in every room. The cab drivers are all looking at me like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. I'm like, what's that? Oh my gosh. So I know what it feels like to be ashamed of this one. So you've turned against this aspect, right? Now, you go to a self-help seminar or you come to a spiritual seminar and you tell me, I feel really ashamed of how loud I am, right? What am I gonna do usually?
I don't know, heal it somehow. Heal the need to be loud.
Oh, there we go. We heal the need to be loud. So actually, you've just stepped into more socialization around the same ideology, right? This is what it looks like. Let's go find your quiet part. You're not as loud as you think, sweetheart. You should love yourself more. Look what I've just done. I actually enhanced the split. And not only am I turning her further against it, I'm doing something worse. I'm convincing her this doesn't exist. So what's the solution to shame, you guys? I heard the word, I heard the magic word, integration. What does it mean? I'm gonna make it practical, okay? The way to solve shame and thus internal loneliness, right, is that you're gonna get closer and closer and closer to that part that you have decided you hate. Now, this is the point at which I have to break it to you. Some of you are already on this path, but most people find the path of spirituality and self-development hoping that it's gonna feel amazing from day one, right? Well, you know who you are. You found Spirituality 101, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, I create my reality. You guys, this is awesome. I can just focus positively all day long, right? How long does that last? Well, this is why it doesn't last long. Because genuine healing brings us back in the direction of the aspects of ourselves that we have denied, rejected, and disowned. It's inevitable. Because genuine healing is about becoming whole. If the wounding is fragmentation, right, then the healing is to come back together. Now, some of you have heard me say this before, but it's really important to say again because I want you to literally write this in your journals, okay? To heal is to experience the opposite. It's literally that simple. You guys, this is like a big deal. It's not like a little deal. Okay. This is what I mean by that, okay? If you break your leg, leg is broken. To heal is, what's the opposite of broken? Put it back together again. If the wound is, I'm lonely, what's the opposite? To heal is connection. If you want to understand healing, any type of healing, it's literally just to experience the opposite. So as long as you figure out what the opposite is, you now know what you have to get somebody to. So it's about connecting a person from where they are to that place, which is the opposite experience. So as it applies to this, the fragmentation, the healing is to become whole again. So all forces in the universe are kind of, fueling the idea that you need to come back in contact with the aspects of yourself you've cut off from. But this is why your path of spirituality is going to hurt. It's going to be uncomfortable because we were trained that to get close to that means what? Death. I'm serious. So I just showed you that whole entire thing where, okay, well, if I get close to my loudness, then I lose mom. So your entire nervous system is programmed to believe that by getting closer to these aspects, you are literally going to die. It's no joke. What a spiritual teacher like me is asking you to do is to be in the most pain you've ever been in, basically. Because in order to heal, I'm saying go back in the direction of those things you think are going to kill you. So if some of you are feeling like crap in your spiritual practice, you're probably on the right path. So, the first thing that I need you to do is I need you to stop seeing yourself as a singularity. If we want to heal the fragmentation, we have to start from where we are, which is in a state of fragmentation. Now, when I come up to you and I stick out my hand and I introduce myself as Teal Swan, that name makes me singular, doesn't it? This is not the truth of any of us. You don't know it, though, because I'm not like, my name is Teal, my name is Michelle, my name is Nancy, my name is Steve, right? Because I don't introduce myself that way, you see me as a singularity, and we, because we call ourselves by one name, see ourselves as a singularity. And unless you have multiple personality disorder, you're not actually seeing yourself clearly. What did I just say? What I'm saying is that we all have multiple personality disorder. The point at which we call it a disorder is the point at which it starts to scare people because we're calling ourselves by different names and losing memory. We're in a dissociative state. But everybody has multiple personalities. Everyone. We just call them sides, right? How many of you have gone out on a date with a girl and she's like, oh my gosh, thanks for opening the door, and 2 minutes later at her work, she's like, get out of my freaking office. Yeah, that is a split. And usually we have no conscious control over our aspects, right? These fragments within us, it's like they control us. It's almost like, I'm gonna do a little demo, right? It's you, okay? We, whatever aspect of us that we identify with, because it's gonna keep us safe in whatever given moment, that's the one that takes us over. So let's say she goes on a date, right? Maybe I'm the person, this will be a funny one, okay? Maybe I'm the aspect of her that's super glamorous. Maybe way back in childhood, I was the one that watched Marilyn Monroe and realized that guys would like that better. So when she introduces herself to a guy, me, as her personality fragment, may come up and go,